Dudes and dudettes, how are you guys? This is Jazzy, and yes, I know I am in desperate need of a haircut. I really wanted to get my hair cut this weekend, but there wasn't enough time because I was working on some stuff, you know. I got my facial hair on flick. I probably should have shaved my neck too, but you know what, guys? I'm starting to get lazy, you know. I'm starting to become a very lazy content creator, you know, but I will definitely go to the beauty salon tomorrow and straighten this out, you know, this whole situation here. Also, it's hot. It's hot as hell, man. The weather in Sao Paulo is just really bipolar. A few videos ago, I was wearing a freaking hoodie, you know. Now I'm wearing a sleeveless shirt because, oh my god, it's freaking hot as hell. But anyway, so here's the thing. Today, I'm going to be talking about something that I have actually watched very recently. It feels good to review something that I saw more recently because it's kind of like I'm not gonna have to, you know, really rack my brains to remember stuff, although I need a cheat sheet because I don't know how to pronounce certain people's names. Because today's TV series is going to be, it's actually a Korean K-drama called Extracurricular. In Korean, it's called. Okay, so so anyway, it's a very good show, guys, and one of the more underrated K-dramas that I've seen recently, and I would go on to say it's one of my favorites, you know. Definitely up there in the top 5s, even though I haven't seen 5 K-dramas yet. I've seen what? Crash Landing on You, My Shy Boss, that other one with the monsters that was so terrible I forgot what it was called. Sweet Home, I think it was. Don't watch that, by the way, that sucks. Now I saw this one. Now usually Korean K-dramas, K-romances, K-whatever, everything from South Korea, they are notorious for being very long because there are like 15 episodes a season, usually just one season. Each episode is anywhere from an hour to an hour and 30 minutes, so it's really insufferable. But if you actually like the series that you're watching, you get into it, and it actually doesn't really feel like you're watching. It doesn't really feel like the longevity gets to you, you know? Even if, of course, each episode feels like you're watching a freaking feature-length movie. But anyway, so today's show is actually really cool, and it's one of those more coming-of-age dramas that involves teenagers still in school, you know, but it does get pretty serious. Now, here is the plot. I'm going to have to read because I don't know how to pronounce the actors or the characters' names, okay? But basically, we have, Jisoo. I'm not kidding, that's his name. Jisoo. He's a top student in his class, but he also runs an illegal business on the side to make money because he lives by himself. His parents don't support him, so he's using the money from what he does to pay for school and then later college, right? That's his intention. He does something called, he manages this, like a protection service for girls who do compensated dating, which apparently is frowned upon in Korea. Compensated dating, I believe, is like the Asian term for hookers. You know, it's like women who you pay them for their services, you know, usually sexually related, you know, and then they go on their way. But because I guess there are a lot of Korean men who are just creepy, you know, and they take advantage of the girls, they hurt them, sometimes they might even try to kill them, you know. So this kid here, he runs a protection service to try to, he invokes a bodyguard, he hires a guy to protect the girls, to keep an eye on them, you know, if anything goes south. And it's actually a good business, you know, he's actually a very honest kid, he's just trying to protect the girls. But of course, compensated dating as a general whole is not looked on with, you know, it's not exactly, how can I explain? It's not good in Asia, guys. In South Korea, you know, it's not, I mean, our hookers really respected, you know, in the West, you know, so it's kind of like the same thing. But anyway, so this girl who's one of his classmates, her name is Bae-guri. Yeah, I actually got it right. You know, I pronounced it pretty okay. She comes from a wealthy family, but she feels a little isolated from her parents, you know, because she's facing a lot of pressure from her parents to take over the family business. And even though she has money, she doesn't really feel like it's hers, you know, because in Asia, you know, especially in Japan and South Korea, there's a lot of pressure, you know, on young people to take over the family business or be like their parents and honor their parents, their family, you know. So I can imagine, and you can tell that she has a few nuts loose in her head, you know, a few screws loose. But overall, she's a pretty good kid, you know. And both of them really hit it off. Then she finds out about Jisoo's secret, and then she tries to blackmail him, you know, so he eventually has no choice but to let her into the business. And I think it's really cool. It's nice because it's like one of them, it starts to spiral out of control because one of their other classmates is part of the compensated dating thing, and then eventually the police get involved, there are investigations, you know, and it starts to spiral out of control like crazy, man, you know. By the end, it's like you're like a weeping mess, you know, because you have no idea how the series got to where it did, you know. So Now, I normally put in between the little cuts in the video here, I put clips of the series that I'm talking about or the movie when it's cinema chazzy, but unfortunately I can't do that because Asian television series are a little tougher, you know, and even if I can get the clips, they are always copyrighted, my videos get blocked, so I have to go and edit them again, so it's going to be completely clipless, you know, whenever I talk about K-dramas. But anyway, I think that the show has a lot of really intricate layers to it, you know, because it is in general, it is like in a nutshell, kind of like a coming of age story because we can see the kids really work together and grow up a little bit, and also there's conflict, you know. There are a few classmates who are, because South Korea is really scary sometimes because like the characters are either incredibly nice or psychopathic douchebags, you know. It's like, it's very rare to see a midterm, you know. In this case we had their teacher, you know, the two students' teachers, who was actually a really good guy. He just wanted to look out for them and help them, you know. He was always like a shoulder for them to cry on. And the thing is that there are a few conflicts here and there, you know, and I think that the biggest one is when Jisoo's father, he goes to his house to try to clean up a little bit, you know, and this kid had, I think, like 70 million or so won stashed up, you know, to save up for, it's pretty much his life savings from the work that he did. His father discovered it and he stole it, you know, and he blew it off on some stupid betting thing. I don't know, I forgot what it was exactly. So then they have to try to recuperate the money, you know, with his new partner in crime. And then it starts to very slowly, because the show is really cool. It's really nice, you know. And what I like about it is that because it's not your average K-drama, you know. So instead of 16 episodes, each one over an hour, there were only 10 episodes and they were about like 40 or so to 45 minutes long, you know. I think the very last one was 52 minutes, so it was actually very bearable. I was able to get through multiple episodes in a day, so it felt good. So in each episode, it really keeps you trapped, you know, because there is a story to tell in each different episode. One of their classmates, the one who later gets caught by the police, she is kind of like the essential puzzle piece because Jisoo has to protect her, you know, because she represents a danger to his business, but at the same time, he has to kind of, you know, stay away from her, you know, so it doesn't become too obvious. So it's like he wants to help her. He can't allow her to turn herself in because then the whole entire thing is going to come crashing down, you know. And eventually there is a key moment where a gangster gets involved with a buddy of his, and you know, he thinks that, you know, Jisoo is actually the guy who slept with his girlfriend, you know. So, and these guys, man, the way that they resolve their issues is by kidnapping people and forcibly tying them up with tape and gagging them and sawing off their limbs with a buzzsaw. You know, so like cutting off their arms and legs. We don't actually see that happening, but it does come close, you know. And Jisoo, these guys are actually really stupid because he jumps to a conclusion that a freaking high school kid is the one who slept with his girlfriend, and then he just, you know, he ties the kid up and gags him on a bed and wants to cut off his limbs. Why not let the kid explain? You know, this is the problem when you kidnap someone, you know, you have to let them tell their side of the story, man, you know. But anyways, so the point is that the gangster, he kind of takes over, you know. He wants a part of the business because he's essentially holding the kid hostage, you know. So then it's like, you know, he treats him well, but at the same time he's always really threatening, you know, like, look, just do what I do here, eat the food that I bought for you, or else I'm gonna cut your arm off, you know. So it starts to get really, really crazy, especially when a detective gets involved and she is really suspicious of everything, and she slowly starts putting the pieces together, and that's when everything starts to fall into place, or rather fall out of place, you know. And then there's also the bully of the girl who the police caught, you know. That kid was such a douchebag, you know. The whole cliche popular kid in school who everybody is afraid of and they respect, you know, but they respect out of fear. So it's that thing. I'm not even gonna bother saying the characters' names, guys, but because I'm not even gonna try. It's all in Korean. But I think that, I mean, it's like your typical high school drama, you know, in South Korea, but you see a lot of different layers, man, you know, because as it starts to get more serious outside of school, it affects their lives inside of the school too, you know, especially Jisoo and Bae-giru, who are the ones who are directly involved, you know. They actually start to have a little fling. They kind of hit it off a little bit. I do believe at one point they like each other. Towards the end, you know, they escape, you know, and we don't really see them anymore. The ending was actually very anticlimactic. The whole entire series was building up to a conclusion that to me was just a little obsolete. It was just rendered moot. I think the one factor that was the most satisfying to me personally, wow, where is the sunlight? If you guys notice a change in light, it's because the sun went behind a cloud there. It might get a little dark for a little while. But anyway, so what I really like is the suspense element, you know. It's essentially like a thriller. There's a lot of stuff involved. There's romance, there's drama, you know, and there's a little bit of mystery and suspense as well, because we see everything. We see Jisoo trying so hard, you know, to not let any trails lead back to him, but eventually, slowly, it starts to spiral out of of control a little bit, you know? It takes a while. It's not like boom, everything blows up at once, but it's a very slow process. But that slow process builds so much tension, so much suspense that when it finally happens, when the house finally comes crashing down, you're almost relieved, you know? You're almost relieved that everything fell into place. And then there's a moment where Ji-soo starts getting stabbed in his apartment by the boyfriend of the girl who was doing the compensated dating. Ji-soo, who was presumed to have left the country, she was going to Australia, I think. She wanted to travel. She comes back and saves Ji-soo at the last minute, you know, and apparently kills the other kid. And at the very end, a bunch of spoilers, by the way, in case you guys haven't seen it, you probably haven't. But so then at the very end, they're kind of like together. He's bleeding out, and she wants him to escape with her, but he says, "No, just go without me," you know. And then the detective finds the whole blood-soaked staircase, and I guess they disappear, you know. I don't know what happened, man. But I really think that the very ending could have paid off a little bit better. But anyway, what we see, you know, we see the old man, who's actually, his nickname is called the Old Man, the bodyguard of sorts, the enforcer for Jisoo's business. He actually kills the gangster who was threatening to cut off the kid's arm, you know. So it's really brutal. He takes brass knuckles and like freaking pounds him in the face until he dies, man. It's really freaking brutal. There are a few moments that are hard to watch. There's a lot of violence, you know, there's a bit of blood, but nothing too insufferable, you know. It's probably just like towards the end there where there's actual physical conflict. But I think that the show was really nice and it was really well casted, you know. I think everybody fit well into the role. And normally I give TV shows in general, I give them a lot of crap about the pacing, you know, especially K-dramas, but this one was actually superb, man. I think that the pacing was amazing. It was fantastic. Like, and every single episode, without fail, ended on a perfect cliffhanger. You know, it's like I had a really hard time stopping binging because I wanted to keep watching more and more to see what was gonna happen next. You know, because like the cliffhangers were crazy, man. They itched. You know, I was watching it on my TV. I was watching it on my tablet, on my phone, all over the place. You know, at different times of the day because I just couldn't get enough. You know, I really wanted to see more because each episode gave me that desire. You know, and it's rare for a TV show to have this effect on me. Now, the two main actors who I'm gonna try to pronounce here, funny enough, I got a notification here right now on Netflix. Wondering what to watch next? Netflix Look Ahead has you covered. Here's what's coming soon. I hope it's a K-drama. Go check this out later. So the main cast, Oh Ji-soo was played by an actor named Kim Dong-hee, and Bae-guru was played by Park Ju-hyun. And I think they were actually really well, you know, they did really well. Apparently this actor is also in Itaewon Class, which I'm gonna watch later also in review for you guys. And I think that they had really good chemistry together. You know, he was kind of more like the socially awkward outcast kind of kid who lived by himself and was focusing more on making money, you know, so he didn't have too many friends, if any at all. And he was very awkward when it came to trying to make friends, you know. And Bae-guru was actually the exact opposite. She was very extroverted, actually a little popular, and like she had a lot of friends, you know. And they kind of went together very nicely, you know, kind of like My Shy Boss, you know, the one where a very shy, introverted boss actually fell for an extroverted new employee, you know, very similar outline there. So I think that the actors had really good chemistry together, you know. We had a few flirtatious moments here and there, other moments where they got a little serious, where it was essentially her fault that he lost the money that he did, you know. So it's like I actually was rooting against her because she was kind of a douche, you know. It was because she stole his phone because she was too curious. She started blackmailing him, and then it led to a series of events, a domino effect that led to him losing his money. So like if it was me, I wouldn't want anything to do with her. But anyway, they did make a pretty good team at one point, trying to hire new people, you know, and she actually played the part of the boss really well because they used the phone and a voice modulator so you don't know who's talking. So I think she was very well in playing an intimidating role, you know, so I also think that was really cool too. In general, very impressive, you know. I think it was really nice. I just like it a lot, guys, you know. It has a very high rewatch value, you know. Most of the K-dramas that I watch do have a high rewatch value, but some of them are so long, 16 episodes, an hour and 30 each. I don't have the time for that, guys. But this one I think was really cool. And definitely recommend it if you've never watched the K-drama and you would like to start now. Another thing that I want to make note of is the lack of a soundtrack. Not the full lack of, there was music, you know, but it wasn't like the other K-dramas that I saw where like, because normally when it's a sappy romance, they take a certain song or a few songs and play them over and over and over again, sometimes multiple times an episode, you know. My Shy Boss was actually really annoying with that because even though I liked the songs, I even have a playlist on Spotify with the songs, even though I liked them, it started to get a little too oversaturated because they would would play, like, you have a K-drama, right? And an episode is anywhere from an hour to an hour and 20 or 30 minutes, you know? I mean, dude, you're playing the same song like 3 times, sometimes 4 times in the same episode. It starts to get really freaking annoying, you know? It starts to get really, really stale, you know, very quickly. And in this one, it was really nice because I can't even remember any songs, any music that was playing, you know? And it was more like it's not exactly music, but just like a background sound, you know? Like an actual soundtrack. So there wasn't like a cheesy little I don't know, there wasn't like how can I explain, a cheerful little K-pop group in the band or a singer, you know, doing these notes, you know. So I think it was really nice because of that too. So very superb soundtrack, you know, very nice overlaying of the music, really good pacing, amazing cast, you know, everybody did really well. And I think that the overall story was actually really cool. There's even a moment at the end where Jisoo accidentally kills the girl who he was trying to protect because she recorded what he said, you know. He confesses to her and apologizes, and well, it is presumed that she died because he pushes her down a couple of brick stairs and she starts bleeding, you know, but she does go to the hospital, the ambulance, and that part made me a little sick. A lot of blood, unfortunately. Hopefully she didn't die, but I don't know. You know, I don't know, because K-dramas, they don't usually have more than 1 season. It's usually just 1, you know, but I don't know if this one will ever get a 2nd season, but I think the story ends there. And if it does end there, even though the ending wasn't too satisfying to me, I'm still satisfied with the overall experience, you know. I think it was really nice, so I would just leave it at that if I could, you know. But anyway, guys, I think that's it really. If I could give this show a rating, I would give it a very solid and well-deserved 10 out of 10, you know. Amazing TV series, and I would love for you guys to watch it and comment later what you thought about it, you know. But watch it wherever you are in the world, you know. Watch it in Korean with English subtitles or whatever subtitle, whatever language you speak better, because the experience is much better. Never watch a K-drama dubbed because it's gonna suck. Trust me, I have experience in that. But anyway, so that's it, guys. That has been it for today's Telechazzy video, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. And if you like this video, well, give it a like and also subscribe to my channel because I post videos literally every single freaking day, sometimes 1, sometimes 2, and at random times of the day, so you have to hit the notification bell to know exactly what time my videos are going to be coming out, you know. There's that too. It's always a surprise here on the Chazzy channel, alright? And that's it, guys. This is Chazzy signing out for now, and as always, I will see you guys in the next video. Roll the outro screen!